Oops. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are doing the light live here from the African American Heritage Museum of Southern New Jersey. Shout out to Ralph, Hunter, and the staff. We are here with a good friend of mine I've known for a number of years. If you've ever read an article from me, she is very much responsible. She gave me my second writing job, and it was actually a column that I had Raymond Tyler on African American TV. I sent that to the Source magazine, and that was one of the columns or one of the articles I sent to them that led to me writing for the Source. So thank you very much. She is here to play the game that nobody loses, but I'm not giving anything away so nobody wins either. But I think we're all winners for being here and being able to play this game. So with that said and done, she has agreed to play 5 questions. So here are 5 questions for Vanessa Quarles-Ruffin. You ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's go. Question number 1. What is Pleasant News?
Pleasant News is a newspaper that I established in 1995. 1995, yeah. Yeah, because the Million Man March was, what, 97?
Yeah.
I established it in 1995. It was a local newspaper in Pleasantville. And I will say, I put it together as a little offset print and then turned it into newspaper print later as I met people who I'd rather remember from the press in Camden, and it turned into a newspaper. It was for the community. I had no idea that it would. My inspiration for it was when I found out about the truth about the things that we had contributed to the quote-unquote American culture. It inspired me to say, oh, we gotta do a newspaper. And then it just became Pleasant News. And Pleasant News, I intentionally did not name it anything black. You know how people say black news, black Africanness, whatever, right? The whole land is that, and so it's about the people, right? So I purposely named it, or I was led by the Spirit not to, I understand that well now, to name it Pleasant News. I don't see modern Europeans calling their paper white paper. So that was my thought. It's like, why would I call mine black paper? I think that's part of our, the divisions that we have. We have to be clear with that. So I did that, and I would just sit back, and it was free because the advertisers, back in the day in Pleasantville and Atlantic City area, a lot of us had our own businesses to advertise. Things are changing a little. And I would just sit back at the restaurants and watch the people, even modern Europeans or whoever, it doesn't matter, it wasn't about color, read it. And it just became, and then Raymond came, and he had a column, like he said, in it.
Right. Okay, this is the reason why I'm asking this. I'm going to take off one of my questions and ask you this. Question number 2. Who was Eugene Robinson?
Eugene Robinson was a voice of the community. No, the voice of the world. You ever meet people that are very outgoing? And they're always, all right, so we have to understand, there's incoming energies and outgoing energies. Some people are outgoing energies, and then people who are incoming, they might be, I don't like that. But their presence is there. Their purpose is to be outgoing. Their purpose is to get you to hear whatever it is they have to say. So Eugene was that for certain. He was a good person.
Yes.
See, it's all about the heart. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within. It's not whether you the superstar basketball player, like the brother said earlier, and got all the money, or the celebrity with the deals, because that's just deals. So you have to be good in your heart. And and the moment you understand that money isn't really everything, trust me, that's when you will have everything. But not until, because even Yahshua, Jesus, he threw over the money changers, right, for those who believe whatever. So it's about knowing, it's about you and I being better people. being our best self, and understanding that and rolling from there. If you don't, everything you do, that's where you get the scandals and the agents and all that stuff that happen to you badly, that's why.
Let me say this. If there was a picture in the dictionary of a good-hearted person, Eugene Robinson would be right there. You're definitely a good-hearted person too, and you know the two of you are like people who like just really make me want to serve my better self and realize that everybody out here is not just me, I. You know, Gene was a very good guy, and the reason why I brought him up, besides being mentioned in the in an earlier conversation, he was actually the gentleman who sent me to you.
Wow.
He said, a friend of mine has this paper, and somehow your visions seem to align. You should check her out and see what happens.
Yes.
So,
And so a lot of times with the kindness, people think people are naive or they want to take advantage of them.
yes.
Did you notice that? Yeah.
I do notice that, and me myself as well, and then like yourself, because I've known you so many years, I've seen you have to straighten people out sometimes, and like yourself, I've been so kind that people thought I was weak,
Yep.
and I think this is the thing though, being from Atlantic City really put me in a position where I can be kind Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but if you mess with me on Friday,
you'll see the other side.
you'll see the other side, no problem. And then once I get you calmed down, Saturday I'm back to being nice again.
Yeah.
Because here, two things Atlantic City taught me: don't let people take advantage of you.
Right.
But then people like yourself and Gene also taught me, don't let them change you. You know, because that's how they win.
Yep.
That's how they win.
Yep.
So I'm still here today, opening up my whatever blessings I have.
Giving the best of yourself.
Right. I want to make sure that those blessings are available for the next Raymond Tyler when he comes along.
Right. So that means follow the dictates of your soul no matter what's going on. That's it. That's the key.
You know, so because where would I be if there was no Vanessa Quarles-Ruffin or no Eugene Robinson? I mean, let's say God still had it in his province to bless me, but would I be here in my hometown? Who knows? Who knows?
That's another interesting point.
Who knows? All right. Here's one you're gonna hate me for.
All right, and I want you to pull the other one that you took off the table onto wherever that was.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Why am I going?
Okay.
I don't hate anyone.
Okay. All right.
Let's see how I handle this one.
Question number we're on 3 or 4? 3? 3. Would you sing for me?
Oh
Please.
my goodness, you did not ask me to sing. So you know that I do know how to sing, but I'm not a singer. Let me tell y'all something right now.
Vaughn Mason would disagree with that, wouldn't he?
Okay, so he's going there. So he's going there, and a lot of people didn't know that either. But it's all good because that's my experience.
That's why I didn't give you these questions.
I see
Oh, I
what
wanted you to be fresh.
that, like, I could say this is like,
So is the answer no?
maybe before we go. I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Maybe before we go, I'll get
Okay.
the juices up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But it's all good. But it's like your life is your life. What happens is we look too much of not following the dictates of our soul and what the norms have said, the construct, what it ought be. It's not that. It's what's in you. And so sometimes when you do what you do in your life, you don't realize. And all of us, we don't realize it. It's based on what you are grown up with, your environment, that it's something special or that it is special at all. Or that someone else thinks it is. It's just who you are and what you do. I have experienced that in my life, I can say, just me personally, Like even singing. Okay, I could sing, but I never aspired to be a singer. But I've sung in some places. If you're born with a gift, who can ever take it away from you? It's yours to use as you want. What do you want?
Okay.
Not to sell it out.
Okay. All right.
Right.
So next time I'm gonna ask you about Vaughn Mason, but not today.
Well, you can ask me.
Okay. Who was Vaughn Mason?
Vaughn Mason was, for his personal self, he came from Yonkers, New York, from a well-to-do family in terms of his father was a doctor and all that, you know, like that. But he is the one that did the infamous, still infamous, bounce, rock, skate, roll. Y'all know that?
Mm-hmm.
Bounce, rock. Now, you're a little older town, so the beat, it kind of came from the era of these are the good times.
Right,
it's
right,
the
right,
same
right.
kind of feel.
Right,
But
right.
bass line, same bass line,
Yeah.
but bass lines cannot be copyrighted. So
Right.
therefore, if you really look, but it's a genius work of his own.
Yeah, that was a joint.
That's what you're gonna say about it?
What else am I supposed to say?
Okay.
Oh, well, he was a very close friend. We dated.
Okay.
Is that what you wanted to hear me say? But let's say this, we did. It was great. It was a great experience for me because I ended up like traveling. I met, see these names I'm gonna say are older. BT Express was trying to come back on the scene.
Right.
This is in the 80s, all right, when this happened for me. And I got to go and see what the music business was like and not like. In fact, I think it was you that mentioned something about the music business and the contracts.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, I got to say and can say that you've got to look at the business contract.
Right.
Not just, like I said, your talent, you're born with it. No one can take it away. You're going to always have it. But the contract, I learned from that side that artists will sell themselves out and take bad contracts, you know, because of the lack of knowing. So I did learn that, and it was pretty cool. Travel.
So sometimes I like to poke the bear, and you know this from knowing me for a long time. I used to have people come into your office and put them on the spot all the time. So,
But I will say this before we move on. Vaughn Mason has passed form, so peace and blessings be to him. So anything said is positive.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Number 4, what book, film, or TV show would help me understand Vanessa Quarles-Ruffin?
Book, film, or TV show? You mean of someone else? Because I didn't put it.
Not anything that you produce that I know of, but like, is there a book, a film, or TV show that I could watch or read that would help me understand you better?
I can't think of one. Let me see. Can you think of one?
Your own book, the one you may not have told yet.
I was going to
The
say.
book that you have to write
The
there.
book that I had to write, because what I was gonna honestly say, as I said earlier, always follow the dictates of your soul. So it's the life that's being played out right now.
Mm.
Because that's the best one, you know?
Okay, all right. Okay, so this is question number 5, but we're gonna act like it's number 4, because we're gonna get the last one in. What was your name at birth?
All right, so now he's probing into what my name at birth was, and the question was, I thought, why do people change their name?
Okay, why did you, I didn't know that you changed
So,
your name,
hold on.
but,
No, I didn't say they did.
okay,
No.
all right.
I thought, now, let me be clear. Was the question like, oh, so the question was why, if what my name at birth was is the direct question you just asked,
That's the
which is
direct
more
question I
probing
just-
and personal to me. But I thought
Okay,
the question
alright.
was is why do people change their name?
Okay, so let's do some detective work. Might you have changed your name?
I corrected and I called myself with my mother. I have a unique story. You know I have a unique story, right?
That's why we're here with 5
I'm just
questions.
saying. My name is what my mother named me, but never called me. Call me Roz, but never called me. That's truly what my name is. And I myself didn't know that that was my name. And when I was younger, I didn't like it because everybody called me Vanessa. So I'm like, where's that come from? And I was mad, I didn't like it. So what I did as an adult is changed it and gave the honor back to the name that my mother gave me, because she's gone also. That's what Sister Rise has done. Now the question about why do people change their name? Is that a question that you was gonna? No, or you just want to? I just explained to you why I did.
One thing about me is I love when people go off the board. So you don't even have to tell us what your name was at birth, because the story that you gave us was better than that probably.
And let me add another thing to make it even better. I felt as though I had this secret name. See, names are important. Names are important, so I do want to answer the other question too, because he had a book up here, Malcolm X, I think, and his reasonings for changing name. You got to look at Prince. Why did he change his? Because of contracts. It's all going together. But I did feel like I had a secret name. I didn't know it, but it unfolded that way, and it was true. So that's how I felt about that. But back to names. Are you asking that question? Why people change names?
I think you answered it, didn't you?
Oh no, I didn't even get started in that.
Well, how about we?
I gotta answer that. Go ahead. What was the other question?
Yeah, we'll play 5 questions with you again, and we'll ask you why people change their names.
Because I thought that's what the main question was, but it's okay. I will say this though. I'm gonna say now we got it up in here, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Because you did say, I came thinking that's what you didn't tell the question, but that was one you did leak out. So I was prepared for that. So a lot of people change their names, some for celebrity reasons, right? I just gave you a whole different reason. Some for, artist reasons. It's the energy. Right. It's all about the energy. So keep in mind that it's about the energy. Even if whatever your mother named you, she was thinking into the ethers and pulled it out. And what we might want to do is go back and see what that name is and what its true meaning is and how it vibrated, and that it's not a quote-unquote white man's name. The only ones that are that are Jack's son, John's son. No soul, no purpose, no reason, just slave mentality. And that one, because all the names end up coming back to us. But so that's one reason. Again, Prince changed his because of contractual reasons. He was being mistreated. He knows that people, the sign or symbol can be a name, right. And he protected himself because they was owning his name. You have others. What's the other one? Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yes.
What's another one? Anybody got another one?
Sojourner Truth.
Oh, Sojourner Truth. I have to do this. Sojourner Truth was Elizabeth Baumfree. Is that right? Baumfree. She was born Elizabeth Baumfree. All right. Isabella Baumfree. It was mom's bet that was Elizabeth. Okay. Isabella Baumfree was Sojourner Truth's real name, born name. Mother and father gave it because they didn't have birth certificate back then, so that's what she was called. She changed it through her sojourner. I said last time I was here, a lot of people didn't know that Sojourner Truth is the first woman, period, of our, what they call Negro, colored, and black, whoever won the first law case with the U.S.A. A lot of people don't know that. Because she did it in 1832. But we believe on our parallel existence that we didn't get freedom until 1866. But it was a parallel existence. Not all of us were even slaves or enslaved. So the story that we believe is the one they want to spin, the one they propagandize. And so that makes you like, what do you mean? So you could say, how did Sojourner Truth win the first case of USA lawfully in 1832, and all of us think you didn't get freedom until 1866? These are the truths that cannot be denied. So then you go back to even Harriet Tubman. If you know that Harriet Tubman's real name was Araminta Ross Bay, that was her name. She will tell you in the movie, she says, they call me Little Minty. Now, because I already knew that she was Araminta, I caught that. But anyone else who didn't know she was Araminta, oh, that's her nickname. And that's another reason why people also change their names. It could be nicknames. Just another reason. So
Okay.
we can go into that.
Thank you.
That's-
This is our last question, and we're coming to you from the African American Heritage Museum of Southern New Jersey for the light. Vanessa Quarles-Ruffin, what do you know about God?
What do I know about God?
What do you know about God?
All right. First, I believe, right? We all believe, don't we? We have to be believers, don't we? And with the belief, and as an example, I'll give it clear. I believe these are the ABCs because my teacher told me, and my mother and father told me. So I have that belief. I believe they are until I start writing words and sentences with them, correct? Now I don't have to believe it anymore, do I? I know. So I've graduated from belief to knowing. He asked me what I know, right? So I'm gonna get there. So now I know these are the ABCs. Now what do? Well, now I'm gonna have faith in what I know. I'm gonna have faith in these ABCs and these letters and writings, and I'm going to manifest. And with that, I'm going to gain wisdom. And all of that process comes from within. Where is the kingdom of God? As they say, the kingdom of heaven, haven of the mind. It's within me. So first I must believe, then I must graduate to knowing God within, right? And then from there I manifest my reality. So did he not say in the written, you two were gods? But if you missed that right there, that elementary graduation from belief to knowing to fruition, you will not be able to manifest. You will not be able to see that. So, mundanely so, like if you're asking me what God is, I think I just explained it, it's within us all. But more mundanely so, people will say, well, God is Jehovah. God is, what's the other names? Give me some names.
There's many of them.
There's so many names. But then when you say, like he said, can you describe it? It's the same thing. What's the difference? It's your practices in acknowledging and recognizing what you think or say God is. That's the only difference. But there's only one God. They all say the same thing. Everyone says the same thing. That's why there is no laws or whatever restrictions against someone's religion, because you're going to call it this and you're going to call it that and you're going to call it that, and all of it is from within. And all of it says the same thing, so we need to drop the name. Those cause distinctions. Those cause prejudgment, which is prejudice. So I'm not going to, someone say, well, there is no God. No one should ever say that. Because at least there's a bottle of water right there that hasn't been opened.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. I did the same thing myself.
Because I didn't want to leave this story.
It's all right. So in this room, I trust right now nobody gets uncomfortable about it. If there's any comment or question that you want to ask, because it's all in the spirit. We are the spirit man manifest in the flesh. And we come down here to our mother's home. Honor.
Vanessa, you are still one of my dearest friends.
You got a question,
I
Rick?
learned. Okay.
How did God impact your life into where you at right now?
How did God impact my life? Because I believed. And then I graduated to knowing. And then I had faith in what it is that I know. I need to go to school and learn something. Right? And then I had faith in what I knew. And then when I manifested, I gained wisdom. So that's how God impacted my life.
I also have another question. What is your favorite verse out of the Bible?
Thessalonians 2. Pull it up. Please. Especially for today's time. Thessalonians 2. Yes, yeah, while he pulls that up.
Okay, so how did you graduate from knowing, okay, you manifested it, but.
Oh, no, you're
saying
asking, I'm asking you a question, you said, how did I
Yeah,
graduate from knowing
yeah,
to?
To,
S-S-O.
so you said wisdom to,
L-I-O-N.
to.
No, wisdom is the last thing.
Okay.
That's what
wisdom
you
is last.
attain.
Yeah, but how did you go through those steps?
S-S.
Did you read the Bible on a daily basis in order to gain that wisdom? Or what made that first step? What did you do from that first step to the second step? How did you get to that second step?
All right, so what you're doing is the principle is belief, knowing, graduated to knowing from belief,
Mm-hmm.
and from that, it's having faith in what you know, and then manifesting. So that's a principle that doesn't necessarily belong to anybody's Bible. It's just the principles of life, which is why it's in the Bible. Do you understand?
Okay, so I believe
All right,
and I have faith,
all right.
okay, but I don't have all the wisdom
Right,
to that.
that's right, because you gotta
So-
manifest.
I have a question.
Yeah, you know, how to wisdom, because wisdom is something that you have to gain.
As time
I
go
couldn't
on.
give you wisdom as time goes.
Mhm.
There's not a person in this room, I don't care how wise you think they are,
Mhm.
they cannot give you wisdom. Because the principle, as we just drew out, is for you to believe in something and then you immerse yourself in it. You get involved. You have knowledge of it. Then you have faith in what you know, and then you manifest. And wisdom is the last thing. No one can give that to anyone.
Okay, so I actually gained wisdom from you speaking today, so you can gain wisdom from others. So you
Absolutely.
I definitely gained wisdom
Right.
from sitting here, just listening and making sure I absorb what you were saying.
You're so right.
So, that's where
Okay.
I was going with that.
Okay, that's true.
Okay.
And I get that too because we're inspired by that. So you
Mhm.
believe something I said
Mm-hmm.
first, though, didn't.
But that's what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
the gaining the wisdom part can come from other, like I learned a lot from my sister,
Uh-huh.
Reverend Felicia Morales, so
Ah.
I learned a lot pertaining to the Bible
Yes.
from her.
Oh,
Do I study it
you
as
should.
I'm supposed to?
I
No.
usually go to it.
No, but if I don't understand something that I've read,
You
I
gotta
can gain the wisdom of
That she has.
understanding from her. No matter
Right.
what it is that she has or her version of it, I believe, like you said, belief, right? I believe in her.
There you
So
go.
therefore,
There
I
you
gain the wisdom from her because I believe in her.
Well, you know what? You're right.
And-
So,
and-
but the same principles still apply. Belief,
Okay.
knowing, faith in her or whatever you learned, but even what you heard from me or whatever, and then the wisdom comes. So yes, you can get it from other people, but
I'm gonna have to let that, I'm sorry, be the last word.
he wanted to read Thessalonians.
Which
What
Thessalonians?
verse?
First or second
Second.
Thessalonians? And which
Thessalonians
verse?
2, verse 1 through 10, I think it is. Be not alarmed about anything going on right now. The law, it's called the lawless man. It's called the lawless man. That's the name of it. I know you don't want to get it too late. This is the problem we have.
Well, no,
Let me-
I'm running short on time. We have to be out of here before 5 o'clock.
All right, so just let me say this. The word religion means realign yourself. And people do it through different ways, you know what I mean? We'll talk about it afterwards. You got
There you
it.
go.
We can have a
There
conversation.
you go. Vanessa Quarles-Ruffin, thank you so much.
You were gonna tell me what you were inspired to
I was
about
gonna tell
me.
you how you're such a dear friend. Okay, I told you this before. One of the best pieces of advice I got, and I was wise enough to accept it and incorporate it into my lexicon. You asked me, how do you eat an elephant sandwich? It's like, this is crazy. Who wants to eat an elephant sandwich? And you said one bite at a time. And that just that one conversation, those few lines changed the way I looked at life moving forward. So I wanna thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, she is Vanessa Quarles-Ruffin.
All right.
Next up, we're gonna hear from Eric the actor, right here on the light.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you.
You know?